For my assignment, I chose Rochin v. California, which is 342 US 165, and it was decided on January 2nd, 1952. The facts of this case are that the police received some information that suggested Rochin was selling narcotics. Three of the deputies with the LAPD decided to go over to his house. They did not have an arrest warrant or a search warrant. Rochin did not own his home. He lived with his mother, his common law wife, his brothers, and sisters. When police arrived, the front door was left open, so they entered and went to the second story where they knew his bedroom was. His door was closed and they forced it open. When they opened the door, his wife was lying on the bed and he was sitting on the side of the bed, partially dressed. They saw the two capsules on his nightstand, and one of the officers asked, "Whose stuff is this?" And Roshan panicked, quickly grabbed the capsules, threw them in his mouth, and was attempting to swallow them. The police jumped on him and grabbed his throat and tried to force his mouth open to pull it out. They were unsuccessful and he did swallow them. So they decided to handcuff and take him to the hospital. And they ordered a doctor to pump his stomach, which was a different type of stomach pump than we do now. And so instead of using like activated charcoal and doing in G-tube, which sciencey stuff, it doesn't matter. They induced vomiting with it. And so when he did vomit, they did find the two capsules in the vomit. And so, as I said, I don't know if it's relevant, but I thought it was. This is like the old way that they pumped stomachs. And so, I mean, we don't even really do that anymore because of how traumatic it is and it can really hurt the esophagus. So I just included a photo because I thought it was interesting. This is from like the 50s. Um, so the legal issue with the case was there the way they obtained the narcotic evidence of the morphine, was that constitutional, or were Rochin's fourth or Fifth and 14th Amendments violated? Um, and so the short answer is yes, yes, they were. The due process clause of the 14th Amendment allows the court to nullify his conviction if the officer's conduct shocks the conscience. And in this case, they illegally entered his home. They assaulted him by attempting to force his mouth open, and then taking him to the hospital to get his stomach involuntarily pumped was also very traumatic. And the court ruled that this situation shocked their conscience, let alone Roshan's. And so his 14th Amendment was violated, and then his Fifth Amendment was violated as well because it protects Roshan from being a witness against himself. So this includes what we commonly know, which is words like a confession. So words taken from your mouth, the capsules taken from his stomach, or blood taken from his veins, like a blood alcohol test. Um, so all of these examples would be inadmissible in court if they are taken without consent. And so the decision was the Supreme Court reversed his decision, and even the first court of appeals that upheld his conviction did say that even though they were going to uphold it, that the officer's behavior was appalling and shocking. And so the impact from this was that Rochin v. California um, uh, established that any evidence obtained through shockingly unfair methods or actions that shock the conscience will be excluded from use in criminal proceedings, which this added a whole new precedent to the already established exclusionary rule. And then Rochin's case also reinforced the principles of fairness and respect for individual rights. And the courts uh, further were influenced in limiting government power and protecting individuals' liberties. And that's all. Thanks.